Being in front of a camera is one of the hardest things that a new creator has to deal with, but also one of the most important skills any creator needs to develop. But how do you overcome that fear, and how do you actually get better at being on camera while doing so? In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 things that I was struggling with the most, why this was happening to me, and how I fixed it. And full honesty here, these are my experiences. I'm not trying to give you one solution that will fix it all. What it worked for me, it might not work for you. I just hope that it gives you some help. And with that said, let's get into the first one. One of the biggest reasons creators fear the camera is because being on camera feels deeply personal. When you post content with your face and voice, it can feel people are judging you as a person rather than simply consuming your content. And then small things feel massive in your mind. The way you speak, your expressions, your appearance, your confidence, or even the way you move your hands. Many creators become afraid of looking awkward, sounding weird, or embarrassing themselves publicly, especially in front of people they know. And this tends to happen because we as humans are naturally wired to care about social acceptance. For most history, being judged or rejected by a group have real consequences, so our brains still treat public criticism as something threatening. And to make things worse, social media amplify this because the internet creates the feeling that everyone is watching, even when realistically very few people are. And we as new creators also tend to overestimate how much other people care about our mistakes, while underestimating how focused everyone else is on themselves. One thing that helped me greatly with this was intentionally posting imperfect content. Instead of trying to eliminate every awkward moment, I usually allow small imperfections to stay in my videos. And this slowly trained my brain to realize that nothing bad happens when I show imperfect online. Over time, your tolerance for being seen increases and the fear loses intensity through repetition rather than through the feeling ready. Before we continue with the video, I just want to remind you that creating content doesn't have to cost thousands of dollars. I'm literally a proof of that. Most of what I use is affordable gear, and honestly, what matters most is showing up consistently. But if you do want to check out the equipment I use, you can find everything linked in the description below. And just so you know, those are affiliate links, which means if you decide to buy something through them, you'll be supporting the channel and helping me create more and better content at no extra cost to you. Alright, now let's get back to the video. For many creators, the camera becomes uncomfortable because it forces them to confront themselves directly. For me, seeing my face on screen, hearing my recorded voice, and watching myself in general, it felt strange or even uncomfortable. Some creators become hyper-aware of every perceived flaw. Their smile, body language, accent, skin, weight, or speaking ability, which makes recording feel emotionally exhausting instead of natural. And this happens partially because recorded versions of ourselves often feel unfamiliar. Your voice sounds different recorded than it does in your own head, and most people are simply not used to watching themselves speak. On top of that, social media constantly exposes creators to polished influencers with expensive setups, strong charisma, and years of experience, creating unrealistic comparisons instead of seeing themselves as beginners. Creators compare the chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 50. Something that I do to help me with this is to spend time getting comfortable with my own presence before focusing on performance. This is what you can do. Record a short video daily without the intention of posting them. Watch them, and the goal with this is not to judge yourself but to normalize seeing and hearing yourself on camera. That familiarity reduces discomfort, and confidence usually grows from repeated exposure rather than sudden self-belief. This next one I know is one that many people struggle with, and not just creators, and that is the feeling that we are not qualified enough to speak online or to do certain things. We tend to think things like, Who am I to give advice? Or why would anyone listen to me when there are bigger creators out there? And then, even if we have valuable experience or insight, we feel like we need more success, more knowledge, or more credentials before we have earned the right to create content. And what I do to deal with this is very simple, and that is to stop waiting until I feel ready or qualified enough to start and just do the thing. And I try to apply this not only in content creation but to every aspect of my life, because the truth is the confidence usually comes after taking action and not before. Most people grow by doing, making mistakes, learning along the way, and gaining experience little by little. So instead of focusing on whether you are already good enough, focus on being honest, genuine, and willing to improve. Over time, the experience you gain naturally becomes the proof that you are capable enough. So now you know how to deal with the fear to be on camera. The next challenge for you is to keep posting and not giving up. But if you're still struggling with that, you can watch this video over here where I tell you all my experience dealing with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.